Hi, welcome to episode 3 of the Cool Nerd Show. We are the coolest nerds you know. As always, I'm Steve Trezza.
Scott Burnett.
Ed Good.
Devin Burke.
And today we are going to be reviewing some of the TV episodes that we have been reviewing in the past. So we're going to start off with The Flash this week. So this week...
Come back with a strong episode.
The Flash comes back with a pretty strong episode. We've got the Pied Piper is showing up. We have some Barry and Eddie are on to Dr. Wells. They actually show Dr. Wells use his power for the first time.
Which is exciting.
He ran fast.
He did. But
They
always kind of alluded to him as being the other speedster. And now it's just like, okay, he is.
Yeah, but they explained how he's the speedster. We'll get into that. I guess we'll start with the Pied Piper.
Okay.
Yeah, let's start with the
They're
Pied
building
Piper.
the rogues, as we all knew. Pied
Are.
Piper was a little too one note for me.
Oh!
What? Oh, wow, I didn't even know that. I mean, I did. I'm hilarious. Okay, so in the flashbacks, they're trying to paint him as this... They're trying to make you feel sorry for this guy, and they never really give you a reason to.
But he's such a dick.
That's why.
Right.
I think in any bad guy, there has to be some kind of semblance of, like, him once being good. So, there was none of that. He was just a dick the whole time.
He was. He was an asshole to Cisco in the past.
Yeah.
And you
He
just
was
kind
just
of
pompous.
you
You hated him the whole time.
Yeah.
And there was some people like to root for the bad guys. It's real hard to root for him. In Flash lore, Pied Piper was the gay son of a very conservative family. I think instead of Iris goes to work storyline that we got in other news, who the fuck cares about Iris and her job? They could have put in a flashback that said that to give him more.
But Iris'
more
job was so important.
Right.
She got the gig, everybody.
The thing is, though, it is important because she is a newscaster.
Yeah.
In
But there was another time for that. I feel like they could have used their time in the episode better. Other than that, I love the episode.
And I think the other reason why they really tried to draw her into the newscaster position so quickly is so that way we have a definite way to get the Flash into the mainstream, into media. You know, how he already had the episode where he, the whole police force saw him fight against, what was it, Heatwave and
Captain Cold.
But now you need some way to keep getting him into the media. And I think that's why they did that with Iris.
I find myself never caring about Iris, no matter what she did. Her storyline, she's kind of the weak point of the show.
She is, but she is the love interest, so they gotta kind of keep her in there.
You got to put in the lowest lane.
Let him and Galen.
Oh, it's
do
actually
it.
pretty
It's fun.
similar.
She's not gonna get with Ronnie because he's all flaming.
Yeah, but she will eventually. And they are touching on Firestorm. They're starting to bring that subplot back up, which is
actually,
really
Firestorm is a hero, and Caitlin Snow turns into Killer Frost.
She's the third incarnation of Killer Frost.
Spoilers, just in case, everybody.
I'm pretty sure everyone kind of knew that. What I enjoyed most was the mystery behind everything. I do enjoy they're building the rogues. I mean, they have almost everyone now. They've got Weather Wizard. I mean, his brother is probably still alive. He's the second Weather Wizard.
They never really addressed him as Weather Wizard. He was obviously.
But he was.
Yeah.
It's the dumbest name, so.
Yeah, well, they get dumber.
I'm fully aware of Flash's abilities of dumb superhero villains. I'm pretty much sure, other than running real fast, Flash's ability is to also come up with the dumbest names in villain history.
Well, you can leave that to Cisco.
But at the same time, that draws from the history of, comics.
That's true.
There was a time where, the comics, the superheroes and the villains were all very flamboyantly.
You got to think all these villains date back to the 50s.
Yeah.
It's
I know.
Back when comics were all 5 cents.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but you don't really see that much of freaking Batman or Superman so much.
Holy Torpedo Batman!
Yeah, that's fine.
You don't remember the Adam West Batman?
Yeah.
All right.
I forgot about Egbert.
but no, yeah, they have Captain Cold, Heatwave, Golden Glider, now Pied Piper, Trickster's on his way in.
Mm-hmm.
Mirror Master as well.
Yeah.
Mirror Master is on his way in. Okay.
Golden Glider.
Golden Glider.
You did? I missed it.
And apparently we're gonna get Gorilla Grodd into it in the next 2
They
episodes.
have been teasing Gorilla Grodd so much.
And it's a full VFX gorilla, folks. So let's see how that looks.
So there was actually I watched a interview.
He's a real gorilla.
Grant Gustin was on one of the morning talk shows, and he was saying one of the running gags on set is they have a gorilla costume.
Oh yeah.
That randomly they'll be filming something and somebody will run out in the gorilla costume. So that is like their running gag on the show. You know, they're watching this morning talk show, and I'm of course going like, I know why, but you know, that's.
I hope it's not a costume.
Yeah.
I hope it's at least overlaid. If it's a costume, they just use it as a reference point.
But we shall see.
That then the other thing is I'm really looking forward to the to Eddie and Joe kind of keeping tabs on Dr. Wells.
Yes.
I think that's going to develop into a really good storyline.
I agree. I like that. You know, in the episode where you saw Joe, you know, many episodes ago where you saw Joe start to like think that Harrison Wells was somebody, you know, a villain-esque. And then I was afraid that they were just going to kind of leave it at the resolution of that episode.
Mm-hmm.
But now that shows they're not. You know, they still are suspicious of.
They're very
Wells.
suspicious of him now. Now Eddie's onto him too.
Yep.
Harrison Wells has the artificial speed force. We know now.
He does. They did mention it at the end.
The tachyon particles.
Well, I don't necessarily think it's artificial speed force.
It's artificial tapping into the speed force.
Right. It's a artificial way of him to tap into the speed force and draw from it. And my brother mentioned that there was a you know, one of the concepts is the Flash himself is the one who creates the speed force and its entirety, and other speedsters then draw from it. So that's why Harrison Wells is possibly looking for Flash to increase his speed, so that way he can draw more from the speed force. Although right now he's just using the tachyon device.
He's only got like 30%.
Right.
And I could see that because you don't really know what
his end game is.
Yeah, and what his
clear.
like incentives are yet. Because it's like, is he a good guy? Is he a
there
bad
are,
guy?
I
You don't
believe there
really
are
know.
2 reverse flashes.
Yes.
I think I had a theory, and it was very common out there, was that there's 2 actual Harrison Wells, a current timeline Harrison Wells and a different timeline Harrison Wells. I kind of threw that theory out the window now.
Now that there's an artificial way to tap into the speed force, I think Eddie gets his hands on it, and Eddie learns how. I think Eddie's going to go back in time for some reason because time travel's in episode 15, spoilers. But I think Eddie's the evil Reverse Flash, and Harrison Wells is Harrison Wells is kind of looking out for the Flash. Like he's looking out for his benefit with his own benefit in mind.
Yeah, definitely.
Alright.
Okay, so also after the Flash on Tuesday night, we'll jump to Agent Carter. We had another Agent Carter episode. It was
AKA when is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. coming back?
It was a very forgetful episode, I will definitely say.
Even
that.
though like there was still a couple stuff that happened in it. Though.
AKA
that's
Howard
what's
Starks the
interesting.
Whore.
There was.
AKA Gravy Pocket. AKA
The Gravy Pocket.
Pickle pocket. Pickle
Pocket.
Well,
That could be another kind of thing, couldn't it?
Oh man.
what I did.
Those 50s women
Those
call
50s
it anyway.
women, man.
What I
You
did.
let them in your pickle pocket, like. All right.
What I did enjoy with
Hashtag vagina jokes.
what I did enjoy about that episode, Howard Stark's back. That was good. The neighbor Dottie
She's
is.
an
That-
agent.
Remember I brought that up
She is
last
an
episode?
agent.
Yeah,
She
we
brought
did.
that up,
I brought
and
that up
apparently
last
she is in the Black Widow program. So that's
That's cool. But
that's
So, I'm glad
connection
that-
to the movie,
yep.
connection to Black Widow. You could see as she
I'm glad that they haven't
wrapped her
used-
legs around the
Yep.
guy and like
Yep.
flipped him over
I'm
and
glad they
Snapped
haven't
his
used
neck.
that-
Snapped his
yeah, I'm
neck,
glad
yeah.
they haven't used that whole agent as a neighbor thing before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that is
Agent
very
13.
weird.
That's
Whatever.
their MO. One was like,
But-
shit, what do we do? Fuck it.
Make it a
let her
neighbor.
live next door to her.
But
Like before.
yeah.
That way, somewhere everybody.
Everybody like Cap too, so why not?
Yeah.
Let's put his blood in the episode
Well,
too.
that's the thing.
See, he's in here.
What'd you guys think about them having the vial of Cap's blood?
Pointless.
I mean, it sparked my interest a little bit in an episode that was kind of boring.
I was like,
to me.
oh, Cap's blood. What are they going to do with it?
Well,
And you know they do nothing with it because
actually,
it's in the past.
Here's
Like,
what
you
I
know-
think. Do you remember in the Hulk film, like the one with Edward Norton? I have to point that out.
Okay.
That they have obtained, a serum that is the Captain America serum.
Yeah,
and it was in
Return of
Stark's
for
lab,
Blonsky.
Right.
and it said Stark's lab on
Abomination.
it. So I'm thinking maybe that's where that vial came from.
All right, but that's a pretty cheesy.
I know,
that's
this is
that's
very
a very
long.
minute tie-in to
Well,
build an episode around.
Hey,
Also-
I know. But
Also, you
this
have
is
the
what
tie-in
it's
of
making
the.
me happy.
There was also, if anybody remembers the Spider-Man animated show, there
Which one?
was the one from the 90s.
Okay.
How
The
they-
good one.
The good one. Yeah, they actually have an episode where they touch on after Cap is lost, they create a non-permanent super soldier serum based off of the
Oh,
formula.
okay. Mhm.
And so you have, I think it's 4 or 5
That could be a villain.
heroes that are created that have they have to activate their superpowers. You know?
That's what I think they're more leading towards.
I think that's what Google's working on right now.
They're leading towards the blood
For
for the serum, and that's what I think why Howard Stark wants to keep it and everything like that. But again, it was a very I forget a lot of what happened in the episode.
I just know Howard
You
Stark.
shouldn't forget one thing, sir. Stan Lee was in it.
He
Stanley was in it.
He asked for the funny pages, which this show needs.
The show needs something. I was real excited about it for the 2-hour premiere, and
I feel like each episode has kind of tailed off.
Yeah.
Next week, I'm very excited for next week's episode because they're bringing back Cap's team from Captain America 1. Dum Dum Duggan's in it,
What did they call? They had a name for the team. I can't remember.
I can't remember either. But they're in it, so I'm expecting it to be better. If it's not, I'm still going to watch it until the end and complain about it every way.
Well, because there's going to be a reveal where somebody you didn't think was the main bad guy is going to be the main bad guy.
And
what happened to the dudes with the fucking throat things?
Yeah.
That was...
Well,
I mean,
they're leaving some
they
stuff
got
out, and it's just kind of like, where is it going now?
Yeah.
And then it's
too
also
short of a season for them
Well,
to
that's
just
the thing.
fuck
exactly.
around.
Why do they keep throwing in filler episodes?
So-
I think it's just to fill in for the fan views. It's like, hey, look, they have this. They got Stan Lee. They got Matt Damon.
They're just taking up time where it could be Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. 's
and-
a
Exactly.
show.
my question is I understand it's 8 episodes. Is it an 8-episode series and that's it?
They're talking about bringing it back.
Because I mean,
And if
like,
they
this
get
episode-
ordered for a full season, I won't watch it. I can't stand 22 episodes of
Yeah,
like...
Well, I mean, this feels like a test pitch, of a season.
Mhm.
I mean, because they're doing character building for what's the guy with the crutch? That was a big character building episode
Oh,
for
right,
him.
him.
Yeah, it was.
Crutchy.
Crutchy.
I think they call him that, too.
Sousa.
Agent Sousa.
And it's like, oh yeah, he tells the whole story of him coming back, and then
Maybe some people don't want a hug, and he gives them a burger.
yeah,
And bourbon.
And
Yeah.
bourbon.
Dude,
Yeah,
that
it was just
he was guzzling down that bourbon.
He did guzzle down that bourbon.
Like, I was like,
Oh, he's
was
also
that
for a
bourbon?
reason.
Because he was literally drinking down
He
like
spoke
water.
like that after you gave it
Yeah.
to him.
Yeah.
so.
Well, that was a cool little twist, because he
Yeah.
was like, I was in the war too. He's trying to relate to him. The guy was
Right.
like,
Yeah,
I
it
don't
was
talk to
that-
cops, and the guy's like, burger? He's like, oh, he's over there.
Yeah.
And then he fucking
And I
ate the
mean,
burger.
part of it, like I said, with his character building was, he's almost just like Agent Carter. They all think of him as a joke, and
I could see him turning to Leviathan.
right. And the thing is, they had the acting chief. I can't think of the guy's name.
I don't know anybody's name in
But,
this fucking show.
He at the end of that,
Peggy, 'cause
that
she's
little
hot.
thing was because he's like, you did a good job. Like they make fun of him all through. He does one good thing, and it's like, okay, you did a good job now. So he's gaining their trust that he's an actual, agent.
Mhm.
And it's like, what is the why
You
did
should
you
put a
need
gun
this?
in that crutch.
That would be great.
That'd be interesting.
So,
Something.
take
The
from
show
a-
needs something.
but
Terror?
I think
Yeah.
I think overall the episode again very weak.
It
Yeah.
was.
Agreed.
I'm hopeful for next week. I guess we'll see what's going to happen. All right, so let's talk about Arrow. So
The strongest episode of the 3.
it is the strongest
Yes.
episode of the 3. It's also the strongest series of the 3, in my
It's more
opinion.
developed.
It's way more developed, but even...
Give Flash till season 3. Flash will be good.
the
Yeah,
Flash
I
is
just-
still a little corny.
Yeah, it's
I mean, I'm corny, so I guess that's what I was.
But I mean,
You love them cream.
Yeah.
You can tell.
But in...
Well, Doctor Who'd up, by the way, I guess.
No.
Anyway, in this episode, we still see some more Ollie recovering. Still no Lazarus Pit.
They're gonna bring it in.
That we
They
know
definitely-
of.
They have to.
There's a couple theories that we'll talk about later, but I think
Ray Palmer kind of
can't
steps
fight
up.
worth
He
a
can't-
dick.
and
He
even-
needs that Atom suit.
and
really
doesn't
bad.
he
Yeah,
knows it too.
see.
He's like, this is why I need a
You
high tech
know-
super suit.
Yeah, but then
Where's
again,
my super suit, woman?
I don't get how Adam's an offensive. Like, oh no, danger, and then he gets
Yeah.
real small.
I think they're gonna turn him into like an Iron Man type
Well,
deal.
but they touch on that because she's like, you
He's
you
trying
don't
to
need a suit
also-
that shoots laser beams. He's like, well, laser beams are ridiculous. They're impulse light bursts.
Yeah, which is exactly the same thing that Iron Man shoots. So it's like they're
And it's
basically
gonna have that-
bringing a DC Iron Man into
Yeah,
Arrow.
That's
it's
upsetting.
gonna have that old school '80s like camera flash sound, like
Yeah.
when you
Yeah.
charge it, like, whoop, and he's gonna shoot it, and then if they don't add that he can get real small, then I don't get.
And they just make him like Iron Man.
Yeah. But he needs.
It
I don't
would
know
be
how
kinda
they're gonna
stupid.
work that in. Maybe next season.
I think they'll work that in as his form of travel.
Maybe it's because they're not really working in so much because the Ant-Man movie's coming out and they don't want to
They don't want to
touch up
focus on him.
Yeah, kind of like that.
I think.
Actually, I think they would do that to beat Marvel to the punch.
Yeah.
You would
I can
think
agree
that,
with that.
but you think people, no offense, you think people are actually going to like, oh, that's the person, that's that DC movie. It's like, no, it's the Marvel movie.
No,
I don't
it's just
think-
the way this.
I don't
I'm
think-
just saying with normal people.
I don't think.
I don't think anybody's excited for Ant-Man, but that's another
I don't think DC and Marvel. I don't think they're gonna care about each other's feelings in that aspect. I agree. I think they would try and beat to the punch, and that way when people
And DC TV's a kind of a different thing.
yeah.
DC TV is its own. DC
better.
TV is trying
Anyway,
to battle more.
We're trailing off here.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, with Arrow this week, we see Laurel actually kind of joins the team now.
And it was perfect.
She's fighting against
really-
what we
we
all
all
wanted.
wanted.
It
I
is.
think-
Terrible!
I think if you ask me, it's a little too much of what we wanted. Like,
No, I think it's,
I
I think
know.
it's perfect.
No, especially when you're like, this is on you. Shoots that guy and drives off, drops
And
it,
it-
lays
That
right
was
in
direct,
front
that was
of her.
direct towards Roy, not
George
towards her.
it was
Yeah, but she
Roy's
still
hot-headed
sees it, and
Right.
like she still feels semi.
I like how
she ate shit jumping on the
She
car.
jumps
Oh my
on the
God.
car,
And you
falls
see
down.
Roy look at her like, seriously?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
So she was, and even in the redemption fight, she still gets her ass kicked. Like,
And
she
then
still takes a lot of damage.
Yep, and she flees. She doesn't stand and fight. She flees, which
Yeah.
again I think was good because it's showing that she knows she's not a badass.
Yeah.
And it's
Far from it,
it's making it very believable too. And I think that is what we all wanted. So good.
I'm
I
happy
hope
with
they
that.
keep it like this for a while, at least till the season's over.
It's not going to be for a while because I think
I'm
Ollie's
feeling-
coming back next
Yeah.
episode and he's going to train her.
He's.
At least traveling back.
I think he's gonna come back at the end of the episode.
And he's
Yeah.
going to save everyone's ass and he's going to kill
and
her.
he's like, hey everybody,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not dead. Give me a hug. You told
So
me
so
a
that's
punch
my
in the face, I
question.
hope.
Do you think that once Ollie comes back, do you think he's gonna kind of be a little bit more loose with his no kill policy?
I think he's gonna start. Maybe he's gonna start killing, and people are gonna be like, "What's wrong with you?" And it's gonna turn out that he was dipped in the Lazarus pit.
Okay.
So I think Maceo's holding back, and he's not telling Ollie that he got put in the Lazarus pit. Or, wild theory, they're using the Lazarus pit to bring back Tommy Merlin, or they already have brought
Yeah.
back Tommy
Okay.
Merlin. And then they're going to use Tommy Merlin to leverage Malcolm Merlin to make a super team to fight against.
Of Merlins.
Yeah.
Super
Because
Merlin.
I really hope they don't bring back Tommy. I don't know. I just
I
feel
think
like
I
it's-
heard it was confirmed that Merlin and Deathstroke are coming back this season.
Well, definitely.
Slade Wilson will be back this season, I believe, because I believe they actually have to go to Leon Yu. They find themselves on Leon Yu for some reason. I'm hoping that Tommy Merlin
It's
coming
just a
back
flashback.
is a flashback. That's
Right.
what I really hope. I just
There's
think
a lot of flashbacks in that.
So,
they bring back
that's
so
all
much.
they did.
They bring back so many characters, and it's like,
Yeah.
like
It's
I
kinda
understand
weird now, like,
in
I-
comic books you bring so many characters back, but I feel like the show, it's not the Flash. It's grounded and it's more realistic.
Yeah.
So I think it should stay around.
I feel like
and
it's
yet
most likely
Arrow
gonna
is in
be-
the same universe as the Flash, which is kind of questioning.
It is.
You know?
Right, but they can,
But it's
they're-
not the Flash.
They're standalone shows.
But now
Yeah.
they're bringing in
That
Supergirl,
crossover.
and then
Right.
they're bringing in
Well-
there's a show for each aspect. There's that gritty, like Nolan-esque Batman show, which is Arrow.
Yeah.
There's the cheesy, corny, typical comic book show, which is the Flash, and then there's that supernatural, like cosmic space show, which is Supergirl.
But Supergirl
There's a-
won't tie into the other two because
They are?
It's up in the air still.
Well,
Supergirl's going to be on CBS.
but the C in CW is CBS, and the W is Warner Brothers.
They're sister stations, but I've heard different rumors.
They
One saying
exist
that
in the same universe.
one saying that they
Yeah.
are going to tie in, and one saying that they have no plans for a tie-in as of yet. So
Well, I
I'll
mean,
see why not.
they're still
We'll see.
casting. I don't.
Right.
They haven't even started writing the
Yeah.
show.
Although it's kind of the weirdest. I'm sidetracking. Go ahead.
so the
Derailing.
at the end of Arrow, we do see Laurel actually confronts her father, posing as Sarah.
Ooh, that's rough.
Yeah,
Yeah,
where do
little
you think
theory.
she kind of dug herself into her own grave with
Yeah.
this? Where do you think this is going?
He's gonna eventually find out.
Well,
Yeah.
eventually, yeah.
I think that he's gonna find out and they're gonna kill him off.
You think they're gonna
I
kill
think,
him off?
yeah, I
Really?
really think he's gonna be the death of the season.
He's
Yeah.
such a.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
I guess I
They're
could see that.
overplaying his
He's-
heart disease. That was real new this season.
And
I don't
He's
know.
such a good character, though.
I love him.
You know,
And-
I didn't
That's
know he was
why.
straight
That's why
British.
they gotta kill him off. You love him
I
too
didn't
much. You
know
gotta
that.
kill him.
Yeah, he has
But, like-
he has a full-on British accent.
They
In
had
real life.
stepped away from his heart disease thing a little bit until this episode, where after the fight, Felicity asks him, "How's your heart?" And he's like, "Oh, still pumping." But again, I think that was them, trying to touch on like he is not well.
yeah.
My heart would be pumping around Felicity too, though. So, it's another- Neither here nor there. What?
So
He's fantastic.
next week he comes back. Oliver comes back,
in the preview, you
Arrow
see
comes
Oliver.
and then I think shit's gonna get kicked into gear, and we're gonna be same story
But do you
arc
think
probably
that-
till the end of the season.
Do you think the return references, because the 5th episode is called The Return, do you think it references Ollie, or do you think someone else is coming back? It could be Slade.
I
Could be
think
Slade,
it's
that's the
a
return.
reference to Slade. I don't think it's a reference to Ollie.
Or it could be Roz. I really think that
Whoever it is,
We're
they're
gonna-
gonna be returning.
we're gonna find out that Ollie comes back quick because they need a lot of episodes to get him to be crazy. They're gonna be like,
Yeah.
Ollie, do you notice Ollie's not the same? Blah blah blah. And at the end, it's gonna be this big reveal that he was put in this Lazarus pit.
That could be,
You think what? The
He's
season
just-
cliffhanger?
No, I don't think it's gonna be. I think he's gonna either kill Roz or like
Good, sorry.
kill Roz.
I know, it's just...
Or dispatch him.
It's just
I think
like
Ollie's gonna wind up killing somebody in front of the team, and then that's gonna be like their whoa, what happened?
Yeah, and then the season's gonna end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think there's
see
gonna
that.
be a reveal that he was dipped into the Lazarus pit, and Maseo didn't tell him.
Yeah, I can see that happening as well.
Masayo's son,
Yeah.
definitely dead, I think.
Because she was like, the snow helped him or something. Like, she made up some bullshit.
That is the most bullshit thing. The dude fell, got
The
stabbed.
snow,
It's,
the cold, and your will to live.
Yeah, which is.
No.
I think she's
How much
lying
of a
'cause
drop was that?
She knows that he would be pissed.
I don't think Masayo's son is dead just because he said, she's the mother of my son.
Right, but something happened that
That
the
they
two of them
broke up. They were like
drove them apart.
That is true.
in the flashbacks are so in love, and then in the current time they're not.
Right.
So-
And she says, "I forgive you" at some point. And-
Unless he took him into the league with him.
Right.
Unless.
That's true, and he could maybe be in the league. Which also, kind of not really a side note, but the part where he killed all the assassins, awesome.
Yeah.
That was
He
pretty
just-
I don't
sweet.
get why
own
he's
them.
so hell bent on staying with the league, but then could just kill.
Maybe
a ton
maybe
of
his
people.
son is there. Maybe Ra's al Ghul is using his son as leverage for him to be in the league.
But if that's true, I think that his wife wouldn't want to just abandon the son.
Yeah.
Maybe he used this.
That's why we're not showrunners, people. We're just.
Assumers.
Yep.
Yep.
Anyway, we've got rumors and everything flying around. And who knows what the hell's going to happen? But that is it for our review portion of the show. We are now splitting the show into two parts.
Much like Hollywood does with movies unnecessarily. Or
we
like
have
The
part
Hobbit.
one and part two.
Yep.
So we will come back, watch our other show, which is our Cool Nudes.
Yeah!
Cool
Ladies!
Cool Nudes is our third show. Watch us when we play smooth.
Cool Nerd
music
Show
and take our shirts
News.
off.
Cool News Nerd Show, whatever you want to call it. It's gonna be with Cool Nerd Show News.
But it's going to be mostly the hot topics of the week. So stay tuned. We got some Ghostbusters. We got some Indiana Jones and the Fantastic Four trailer.
Click this annotation to view it.
And we'll see you over there.